Israel is not like the other nations. They should not expect to be, nor should we expect them to be. Hi, this is Barry Phelps, a 10-minute Torah, day 5 of Balaq, and we go today, chapter 23, all the way to chapter 23. Verse 1 says, And Balaam said to Balaq, Build 7 slaughter places for me here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here. And Balaq did as Balaam had spoken, and Balaq and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. Balaam then said to Balaq, Stand by your ascending offering, let me go on. It might be that Yahweh does come to meet me, and whatever he shows me, I shall declare to you. And he went to a bare height. Elohim came to Balaam, and he said to him, I have prepared these 7 slaughter places, and I have offered on each slaughter place a bull and a ram. And when he returned, this was his words. In verse 8, How do I curse whom El has not cursed? And how do I rage at whom Yahweh has not raged? From the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I observe him. Notice this. Look, a people dwelling alone, not reckoning itself among the nations. Nothing in the Torah is here by accident. Everything is here on purpose, including every situation, every relationship, and every number. And so one has to ask, why 7 altars offering 7 bulls and 7 rams? What is the significance of these 7s here? And I also want to know, as it says here in verse 3, Balaam said to Balaq, Stand by your ascending offering. Who is he seeking to be raised up and elevated to? A mere demonic entity impersonating a mythical god? Well, that's not going to do him any good. Does he actually think that by some means he can be elevated to stand with Yah and argue his position and his perspective? I don't think that's going to work. Whenever we see the number 7, one of the things that we should consider is the 7th day. Now, there's a lot of correlations we could draw here, and I'm just picking one out of a list. The 7th day. For all of the elevation activities, no matter how many strategic heights that he tries to climb up to, he changes position, I think, 3 times here. Always trying to get a different vantage point, different perspective on Israel, looking for some chink in their armor, trying to find something that he can use as an accusation against them, and finds nothing. And it does come back down to this principle of how do I curse whom El has not cursed? How do I rage at whom Yahweh has not raged? So if Yah is not cursing, the curse can't be placed. There's a little insight for your spiritual warfare. If Yah's not cursed you, then those who are trying to curse you, it doesn't work. And so we understand then that the means of elevation, not only is it employing the name of Yah, not only is it walking righteously, not only is it taking on the heart and the character of Yeshua and being redeemed and atoned for by him, becoming one with him in covenant, it is the also continuing of Shabbat. Now, within a few hours, however, whatever time you're watching this, we are preparing to enter into the 7th day. And it is this 7th day observance, when it is with a pure heart and intently entered into, that it does indeed provide a sense of guard and protection for us. A rabbinical quote would say something along the lines of, more than Israel has kept the Shabbat, Shabbat has kept Israel. For all of those who stand in the stands and the arenas and point their fingers and yell accusations against the Jews, they needed to be, rather than accused and mocked, they need to be applauded. For it is the Jewish people who have enabled us to keep these feast days, who have enabled us to continually observe what Shabbat is. They have kept a model. They have protected the integrity of the Word, the Torah. And so they are to be applauded and appreciated. If they haven't done what they are doing and have been doing, we wouldn't have anything to return to in many respects. Now, that being said and understood, this elevation that is achieved through the observance of Shabbat is important to us. Balaam says, I built these 7 altars. The patriarchs built 7 altars. We read about Abraham building 4, Yitzhak built 1, and Yaakov built 2 for a total of 7 altars. Is he trying to equate what he's doing here, trying to match the altar count with the patriarchs to somehow get an advantage here? I'm not real sure what he is trying to do, but it's not going to work. And so let's also understand this. Israel is a nation alone. They will always be a nation alone. Now, right now, at the time of this recording, there is the effort between Israel and the United States dealing with Hamas to negotiate some kind of ceasefire peace deal thing. And Israel is enjoying, for at least the moment, the partnership in the United States. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad for whatever the U.S. is willing to and capable of providing and securing for Israel. But Israel must understand and know that if this nation refuses to stand by her, there are a people in the earth who will, no matter what their governments determine and strategize, but also that heaven itself will always stand with her. For this is the land of promise, and it is promised to a particular group of people, part of which are already dwelling in and inhabiting the land. But there is also a group of people who are becoming known as Israel throughout the earth, who are rising up and learning to keep the 7th day and going back to the patriarchs and the prayers that they prayed at their 7 altars and realizing we're a part of this long-term plan. I started to say agenda. It's not an agenda. It's a long-term plan of the hand of Yah. So wherever you are and whoever you are, let us join with the example of our brother Yehuda, who has fought to remain the Jewish people among European nations in particular, and have stuck to their identity and refused to compromise and refused to give up. Even though there are many secular among them, there are those who are tenacious and have dug in and refused to quit. Likewise, those of us who have been within other religious systems and come to a realization we can't just play religious games, and we just can't follow the creeds and the formulas and accept doctrines without question, but we raise the questions and seek the Father's face, and we're starting to cry out for something real. And the moment that we start looking for Him and crying out for these things, Yah will bring us back to our roots, where even the prophets who have height advantages won't find fault. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. May Yah protect you, guard you, keep you, sustain you. May He fill you with His Spirit fresh and new. May He cause a fresh wind, fire, and anointing to come over you and fill you and your home and your house and your family. May your congregations rise up and be counted. Until next week, Shabbat Shalom.